The Aranyakas are the ritual sacrifice part of the ancient Indian texts, the Vedas. They typically represent the earlier sections of Vedas, and are one of many layers of the Vedic texts. The other parts of Vedas are the Samhitas, benedictions, hymns, Brahmanas, commentary, upasanas, worship, and the Upanishads, spirituality and abstract philosophy. Aranyakas describe and discuss rituals and sacrifices from various perspectives. For example, Katha Aranyaka describes rituals such as the Mahabharata and Pravarja. Ada Aranyaka includes explanation of the Mahabharata ritual from ritualistic to symbolic meta-ritualistic points of view. Aranyakas, however, neither are homogeneous in content nor in structure. Aranyakas are sometimes identified as karmakanda, ritualistic action, sacrifice section, while the Upanishads are identified as jnanakanda. In an alternate classification, the early part of Vedas are called Samhitas and the commentary are called the Brahmanas, which together are identified as the ceremonial karmakanda, while Aranyakas and Upanishads are referred to as the jnanakanda. In the immense volume of ancient Indian Vedic literature, there is no absolute universally true distinction between Aranyakas and Brahmanas. Similarly, there is no absolute distinction between Aranyakas and Upanishads, as some Upanishads are incorporated inside a few Aranyakas. Aranyakas, along with Brahmanas, represent the emerging transitions in early Vedic religious practices. The transition completes with the blossoming of ancient Indian philosophy from external sacrificial rituals to internalized philosophical treatise of Upanishads. Etymology: Aranyaka literally means produced, born, relating to a forest or belonging to the wilderness. It is derived from the root aranya, which means forest, wilderness. Two theories have been proposed on the origin of the word Aranyakas. One theory holds that these texts were meant to be studied in a forest, while the other holds that the name came from these being the manuals of allegorical interpretation of sacrifices, for those in Vanaprastha, retired, forest-dwelling, stage of their life, according to the historic age-based ashrama system of human life. Acharya 2 says, from where one cannot see the roofs of the settlement, which does not indicate a forested area. Citation needed. Discussion structure: Aranyakas are diverse in their structure. Jnanakanda summarizes, the structure of the Aranyakas is as little homogeneous as their contents. Some portions have the character of a Samhita, others of a Brahmana, others again of a sutra, according to the material that, varying from Veda to Veda, and from school to school, was collected in an Aranyaka corpus. Linguistically and stylistically also, these works form a transition between the Brahmanas proper and the speculative literature that follows them and develops part of the ideas and lines of thought which are characteristic of them. Jnanakanda, Vedic literature. Many Aranyaka texts enumerate mantras, identifications, etymologies, discussions, myths and symbolic interpretations, but a few such as by sage Aranyakas too include hymns with deeper philosophical insights. Contents: the Aranyakas discuss sacrifices, in the style of the Brahmanas, and thus are primarily concerned with the proper performance of ritual, orthopraxy. The Aranyakas were restricted to a particular class of rituals that nevertheless were frequently included in the Vedic curriculum. The Aranyakas are associated with, and named for, individual Vedic shakhas. Rigveda Aitara Aranyaka belongs to the Aitara Shaka of Rigveda. Kaushitaki Aranyaka belongs to the Kaushitaki and Shankayana Shakas of Rigveda. Yajurveda Taittiriya Aranyaka belongs to the Taittiriya Shaka of the Black Yajurveda. Maitrayaniya Aranyaka belongs to the Maitrayaniya Shaka of the Black Yajurveda. Katha Aranyaka belongs to the Karaka Katha Shaka of the Black Yajurveda. Brihadaranyaka in the Madhyandina and the Kamba versions of the White Yajurveda. The Madhyandina version has 9 sections, of which the last 6 are the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Samaveda Tilavakara Aranyaka or Jaimini Upanishad Brahmana belongs to the Tilavakara or Jaimini Shaka of the Samaveda Aranyaka. Samhita is not a typical Aranyaka text, rather the Pravarchika of the Samaveda. Samhita has a section of mantras, called the Aranyaka Samhita, on which the Aranyagana statements are sung. The Atharvaveda has no surviving Aranyaka, though the Gabitha Brahmana is regarded as its Aranyaka, a remnant of a larger, lost Atharva, Papalada, Brahmana. Aitara Aranyaka. There are 5 chapters, each of which is even considered as a full Aranyaka. The first one deals with the regimen known as Mahabharata. The explanations are both ritualistic as well as speculative. The second one has 6 chapters, of which the first 3 are about prana vidya meaning, prana, the vital air that constitutes the life breath of a living body, is also the life breath of all mantras, all Vedas and all Vedic declarations, cf. 2.2.2 of Aitara Aranyaka. It is in this portion of the Aranyaka that one finds specific statements about how one who follows the Vedic injunctions and performs the sacrifices goes to become the god of fire, or the sun or air, and how one who transgresses the Vedic prescriptions is born into lower levels of being, namely, as birds and reptiles. The 4th, 5th and 6th chapters of the second Aranyaka constitute what is known as Aitara Upanishad. The third Aranyaka in this chain of Aranyakas is also known as Samhita Upanishad. This elaborates on the various ways, like Padapatha, Kramapatha, etc., of reciting the Vedas and the nuances of the Svaras. The 4th and the 5th Aranyaka are technical and dwell respectively on the mantras known as Mahanamni and the yajna known as Madhyandina. Taittiriya Aranyaka. There are 10 chapters, of which 1 to 6 form the Aranyaka proper. The first 2 chapters are part of the Astakathakani, the 8 Kathaka sections, which were not native to the tradition of the Taittiriya Shaka. They were adopted from the Kathaka Shaka, and mostly deal with varieties of the Agnikayana ritual, and with Vedic study. Chapter 1 is a very late Vedic chapter, which even has some Puranic names. It is usually called the Aruna Prasna for the particular style of fire brick biling dealt with in the text. It is also referred to as the Surya Namaskara chapter by South Indian Brahmins, who have created a ritual of reciting it with Surya Namaskara exercises after each of its 132 anuvakas. Parts of the Katha version of this section has been published by L. V. Schroeder in 1898. Chapter 2 discusses the 5 Mahayajnas that every Brahmin has to do daily, most importantly the daily recitation of the Veda. Further, the sacred thread, the Yajnopavita, Sandhya worship, that of the ancestors, Bhitra, the Brahma Yajna, and the cleansing Homa sacrifice, Kusmanda Homa, are all treated in detail. In this chapter the word Shramana is used. 271, in the meaning of an ascetic, Tapaswan. This word was later used also for the Buddhist and Jain ascetics. Discussed and translated by C.H. Malamaud, in French, 1977, the Katha version of this section has been published by L. V. Schroeder in 1898. Chapter 3 treats technicalities of several other homas and yajnas. Chapter 4 provides the mantras used in the Pravarja Shraddha ritual that is considered to be dangerous as it involves heating a specially prepared clay vessel full of milk until it is glowing red. It is fairly close to the Katha version. Chapter 5 treats the Pravarja Yajna in prose discussion, Brahmana style. Again, it is fairly close to the Katha version. Chapter 6 records the Bhaitrameda mantras, recited during the rituals for the disposal of the dead body. Chapters 7, 8 and 9, are the three valas of the well-known Taittiriya Upanishad. Chapter 10, is also known as the Mahanarayana Upanishad. It has several important mantras culled from the three Samhitas. Ta 10.41 to 44 is known as the Metasukta. Katha Aranyaka. The Katha Aranyaka is fairly parallel to the text of the Taittirias. It has been preserved, somewhat fragmentarily, in just one Kashmiri birchbark manuscript. It has recently been edited and translated, cf. the early uncritical print by L. von Schroeder Shankayana Aranyaka. There are 15 chapters. Chapters 1 to 2 deal with the Mahabharata. Chapters 3 to 6 constitute the Kaushitaki Upanishad. Chapters 7 to 8 are known as the Samhita Upanishad. Chapter 9 presents the greatness of prana. Chapter 10 deals with the esoteric implications of the Agnihotra ritual. All divine personalities are inherent in the Purusha, just as Agni in speech, Vayu in prana, the sun in the eyes, the moon in the mind, the directions in the ears and water in the potency. The one who knows this, says the Aranyaka, and in the strength of that conviction goes about eating, walking, taking and giving, satisfies all the gods, and what he offers in the fire reaches those gods in heaven. Cf. 1. Chapter 11 prescribes several antidotes in the form of rituals for warding off death and sickness. It also details the effects of dreams. Chapter 12 elaborates the fruits of prayer. Chapter 13 treats more philosophical matters and says one must first attitudinally discard one's bodily attachment and then carry on the Shravana, Manana and Nyayasana and practice all the disciplines of penance, faith, self-control etc. Chapter 14 gives just two mantras. One extols the I am Brahman mantra and says it is the apex of all Vedic mantras. The second mantra declares that one who does not get the meaning of mantras but only recites Vedic chants is like an animal which does not know the value of the weight it carries. Chapter 15 gives a long genealogy of spiritual teachers from Brahma down to Guna Sankayana. Aranyaka. The Aranyaka of the White Yajurveda is part of its Brahmana, Satapatha Br. 14,123 in the Madhyandina version. Like the Taittiriya and Katha Aranyakas, it exclusively deals with the Pravarja ritual, and is followed by the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Satapatha Br. 14.4-9. Raji Brahmanas. There is also a certain continuity of the Aranyakas from the Brahmanas in the sense that the Aranyakas go into the meanings of the secret rituals not detailed in the Brahmanas. Later tradition sees this as a leap into subtlety that provides the reason for Urgakariya in his commentary on the Nairakta to say that the Aranyakas are Aju Brahmana, that is, the Brahmana of secrets.